Okay,
No worries.
ready? Okay. Hello, thank you for your time to participate in this interview. My name is Alejandro Santana, and I'm conducting research on behalf of UF to better understand the experiences of undergraduate architecture students who are near graduation. We are conducting this research to understand the challenges they face and the concern, as well as the concerns that undergraduate architect students have at UF and when they're about to graduate, particularly regarding their transition from university life to their next career or other educational steps. The insights that you will provide in this interview are invaluable and will help us improve our support services for students like yourself. All of your responses will be kept confidential. Before we start, do you have any questions about the interview?
No.
Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start with some questions to get to know about a little bit more about your background. So could you please introduce yourself and tell me a little bit more about who you are?
Yeah, my name is Mark Keener. I'm a fourth year architecture student at the University of Florida, graduating this semester. See, I was born in California, and then moved to Florida when I was young. My parents are both immigrants, so me and my siblings are the first in my family to go to college in the US. Um, and yeah.
Okay, good. So yeah, my next question would be, what is that, because you said that you're the first generation student in the US. How was that process of applying to UF, and did that have any effect on your application process or?
Mm-mm. It was pretty simple. I don't know if being a first generation changed anything. Um, I just like my parents couldn't really help me with it. But the whole application process was relatively easy.
Okay. So would you say it was more you just figuring it out on your own then?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Are you currently employed or have a full-time or part-time job while attending?
Uh, I have a part-time job right now working at an architectural firm. I mainly do rendering and like image presentations for them. Um, and yeah, hopefully that turns into a full-time job.
Okay. Um, could you describe to me what your academic journey was at UF, starting from when you first were admitted up till now?
Yeah, well, I was originally admitted for summer B, but because of COVID, they told me that I could start in fall. That was before they knew that COVID would continue going. So I got to start with most other people, and then started my architectural courses from the very beginning, starting with Design One Studio. Um, and that was pretty much like the only class that we were kind of allowed to care about, just given the time that the class takes.
Mhm.
Um, so every semester it got a little bit more difficult. And then we have it 3 times a week, 3 hours each week. Um, but after sophomore year, we went through a process called pinup where we got accepted into the upperclassmen or it was just the final 2 years of architecture, but you had to be admitted into it through like a selection process. So that was kind of a big marking stone in my academic journey. And then now, kind of just finishing up the classes.
Okay, that's good. So to follow up on that, you said that a lot of your focus was on the design classes. Could you take me through some of the highlights of um, and as well as some of the challenges that you faced during those classes during that design
Um,
class?
yeah, the highlight, well, to start, that's definitely like the most interesting class. The highlights I would say are the connections and friends you make in class. We're usually working outside of class, like I guess most of the hours of the day, with your friends and making um, like beautiful models and stuff. So I'd say the highlight is being with your friends. And then the challenges would be the late hours spent in studio working on a model or something that you don't even know is right. Um, Kind of just making something out of intuition. Yeah.
Okay. So my next question would be, how are you feeling towards upcoming graduation and your transition into your next, whether that be going straight into the career or if you're going to pursue any higher education, sort of like
Yeah.
masters or anything?
I'm very excited, also a little nervous. My plan is to get a job after I graduate, work a few years, and then see how I feel about the industry and if I want to pursue a master's in architecture. If so, I would probably come back to UF to finish it just because of how good their program is and the flexibility they offer with it. Um, yeah, but I'm excited to graduate.
That's good. That's good. So would you say what experiences within your sort of your curriculum at UF, if was there anything that helped you prepare, like acquire these jobs or any like prep, or did you have any like mentors that you talked to or any connections? Tell me about how kind of UF was able to help give you this opportunity.
Well, I guess I'll start with the studio professors. You get to know them kind of a lot because of how many times we see them and how small the classes each are. So getting close with them and like building our confidence, and telling us to get out there and I guess ways to get out there, helped a lot. I know there's some clubs in our college that help with like portfolio building, resume building, and those things help a lot, as well as putting things on like your resume for extracurricular. Um, but I had never really used any of the UF resources, um, like interview preps and stuff like that. I know they offer it, but I hadn't used them mainly because they felt a little intimidating to
Mhm.
use. They very well could not have been, but that was just my impression on it.
Okay. So yeah, based on those kind of resources that UF provides, what do you think that is you mentioned that an issue that you came up with is it being intimidating. Is there any way that you think that would help assist you in kind of breaching that barrier um, for like that like um, for those resources that UF provides, if there's any way it can make they can make it easier for students who may be intimidated to, go onto those career, like sort of career connect platforms.
Yeah, I think that's tricky. I think it just trying to get into a career and stuff is already intimidating.
Mm,
So it's not UF's fault that that part's intimidating. It's just kind of the whole stress about getting a job. Maybe if there was like, I don't know, people that came around to the colleges to make it more known, because we're told through like email and stuff. But I know for the architecture school, a lot of us feel like we're in a bubble and we're kind of only in the School of Architecture and we don't really wander outside of campus and stuff. So maybe people that kind of come to us to tell us about it, or they'll say they'll host maybe like interview practice in this room or something like that.
okay. So have you had any experiences with the career fair and any other networking opportunities? Because it seems that in your experience, you got the path to obtaining a career is more through in person and practical, like hand on hand conversations with other people.
Yeah,
Um,
that is how I guess got the job that I have now. I didn't get it through a UF career fair, but mainly because the town I'm from is pretty small, so those firms usually don't come out to the UF career fair.
Mhm.
But I did get my job through talking and stuff. I mainly had to like call a bunch of firms and find out if they were even hiring, or just talking to the right person.
Could you further elaborate on how that interview process works and sort of what you had to go through? What was your prep? Um, how they conducted the interviews and sort of everything up to you getting the offer.
Yeah, well, to start, the firm that I interviewed with was very casual. So it wasn't a typical interview, I guess. It was more of like a wanting to meet me and just like put a face to my resume and my portfolio. Um, but before knowing that, I did do interview prep. I had practice interviewed with one of my friends who um, had a job in architecture already and had gone through some of those interviews. So that was very helpful. But also using resources like YouTube for portfolio prep, tips like that, but also like YouTube to interview questions and stuff. So I basically just like played interview questions in my car and I would like practice responding to them to myself. And that's how I prepped for it. But once I got there, it turned out to not be such a serious interview. It was just kind of chatting.
Yeah, it's more so just like because they already know like you've worked there, so it's just more just getting to know you as a person.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess my final question would be, in your opinion, do you feel that there's any skills or anything else that you can improve upon or before transitioning into full-time or any further studies for that matter?
Yeah, I think one of my biggest regions for improvement would be like networking or communicating. I usually get intimidated and I don't really like talking to strangers, especially if it's something like career. It gets me nervous. Um, and I think it would be cool if UF had like a platform that recruiters would like go to and like tell them that they're interested in students, and then they would reach out to the schools and they'd tell all the students. Because I feel like for architecture at least, most of these people don't post listings. And it's kind of hard to know if they're even interested. So you just send out a ton of emails and call without even knowing if they'll take you. So I feel like a program like that would help also to solve those issues that I have.
Sounds good. All right. Well, do you have any other questions or comments?
No, thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you very much, Mark. Have a good day.